if someone told you by the end of the week that you had to come up with $10,000 or you die or something bad happens in your family, whatever, you could do it, right? Everyone's going to say yes. Everyone wants to believe that they're that motherfucker that can absolutely do whatever they need to do to protect themselves or their loved ones. Well, you don't fucking do it any other time. So, do you really have it in you? What's up, guys? Welcome to the Return on Investment MF channel. It's your host, Zack ROI Williams. And this is the information your haters don't want you to hear about. Becoming the most badass version of yourself in business. What's up, guys? It's Zack ROI Williams, and we're here again with another episode of Return on Investment MF channel. So today we're going to be talking about getting over distractions and procrastination. So I got asked this, and actually, G-Code by Ryan Stewman. This book is really, really great on the distraction portion. And also Timothy Ferriss, The 4-Hour Workweek, I think is a really good one for procrastination. At least it works well for me and the concepts they put in there. Now, at the end of the day, this comes down to, this comes down to how bad you want it. Because, and the reason I can say that, and the reason I can kind of get pretty aggressive with this, is because I feel like I'm looking in a mirror right here. For some of y'all that are following me, I recently have been kind of going down the path of controlling my ADHD and a little bit more of a holistic approach, I guess you could say. I'm comfortable with my ADHD, totally fine with it. It is something that's gotten me to where I am today, so I'm not discrediting it. I think it gives me the opportunity to think with multiple parts of my brain, whereas if I had medicated myself, I never would have, and definitely wouldn't be where I am today doing that. So I've never medicated for it and never will, outside of, plant-based and whatever the case you want to call, a more of an herbal approach. And really, I'm not trying to shoot everything down. I want to have hyper-focus for specific tasks. With that being said, a lot of it is mindset. So again, the reason I bring all that up is I have been, focusing on supplements and nutrients and things like that to kind of help my brain be able to focus. But what I've noticed outside of like any kind of placebo effect situation is actually consuming the product, which then forces me mentally to know that I'm spending money on the product or actively doing something that takes my time to try and produce an end result, therefore making me think about it. It's now on the forefront of my mind. When I wake up every morning, the first thing I do is I take my supplements and then I start reading. When I start to get distracted while reading, it's not necessarily the supplements that are helping me because this is such a new process, but it's me knowing, Zach, you're trying to break this bad habit. Let's reel you back in. So it is a mind training aspect that goes into, being able to pull away from the distractions and focus a little bit more. But the G-Code by Ryan Stewman speaks on this some. It also speaks on some other things as far as like overall your interaction with the world and some of the bad shit that happens. But there is a lot there that's going to help you focus. As far as the procrastination thing, the reason I bring up the 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss is he uses a metaphor, and I kind of made my own version of it. It's a little bit darker of a metaphor, but I like the concept. So in all honesty, if someone told you that you had to do something within a certain amount of time or you die, could you get it done? And the reason I bring that up is because, we've all seen one of those, memes or whatever. If someone told you by the end of the week that you had to come up with $10,000 or you die or something bad happens in your family, whatever, you could do it, right? Everyone's going to say yes. Everyone wants to believe that they're that motherfucker that can absolutely do whatever they need to do to protect themselves or their loved ones. But you don't fucking do it any other time. So, do you really have it in you? Like, why are you not doing those things already? But anyways, the procrastination thing speaks on into the 4-hour work week. The example was if you were to go to your boss and say, hey, I need to get, and I'm paraphrasing, so don't hold me to this. I want to get off and take my wife to an appointment, at 3:00 or something like that. Can I leave at 2? And your boss goes, yeah, sure. If you get all the work done that you're supposed to get done today. And magically that employee gets all that work done by 2. Now, typically, if that situation had not come up and his wife had not had that appointment, he would have had that same workload. It would have just taken him to 5 to do it. So why do we not operate at this optimum level? Now, with that being said, if you follow this channel, follow me at all on social, you know that I'm very, I push it all the time that Ferraris are not made to run at 9,000 RPMs 24/7. It just is what it is. Ferrari is a supercar. Ferrari is one of the most pristine built vehicles in this entire world. Now, you can obviously, I'm not picking a side over Lamborghini or Ferrari or McLaren or this or that or Aston Martin, Bentleys, Porsche, this, that. Ignore all that. You know what I'm talking about. You got a supercar, one of the best hand-built vehicles on the road. And they're still not made to run 9,000 RPMs. Now, in our organization within Apex and, a lot of our network, we got a lot of high performers. You got a lot of guys that are out here waking up at 4 a.m. We got a lot of guys that are out here working 18-hour days. You got a lot of dudes that are working 7 days a week, this, that, whatever. You got all these crazy, high performance, competition and this big dick competition where everyone wants to outwork the other. And then people always end up burning out because they don't understand you got to have some sort of rest. You have to have some sort of reward. There needs to be some sort of positive reinforcement instead of negative reinforcement. There's all these things that you got to go into being able to set yourself up to run as optimally as possible for as long as possible. Honestly, I don't care if you only get 1% better each day. It's better than trying to get, 25% better or 100% better every day and you only doing it for 3 months and then giving up. So we've got to find what works for you. Now, again, some of my guys up at 4, some of my guys working 18, 20-hour days, some of them guys working 7 days a week, or girls, please do not attack me. Do not cancel me. You know what I'm saying. For me, I've done it all. And I've burned out multiple times. What works for me is getting up at 4 a.m, is doing the work. And when I say doing the work, I am working. I get all my critical tasks done by about 9 or 10 o'clock a.m. every day. The rest is all catch-up work, client communication, social media outreach, things like that. But I get the fucking work done. The rest, I just put on it, and I'll really focus on my time and attention to being as productive as possible, because now I get when it's time for me to drop my daughter off at school, wake my daughter up, pick her up from school, put her to bed, whatever the case is, that's my time with her. If I want to focus time on my wife, I do. Many of you guys know I don't work on Fridays typically. So Fridays are day dates, whatever she wants to do, whether it's stay in, go out, this, that, whatever. That's my wife's time. And I also have, Saturday and Sunday, again, with both of them to just completely decompress and get 3 full days completely away from all work-related things. Now, obviously, yes, I still work some. I still, work with Jaybird, my sales staff, my back-end officers, anyone that needs anything on the weekends. Yes, of course, I am completely accessible, except for about 1 week out of the year. Other than that, I've got to give myself time to recharge, recoup. This helps allow me to push off procrastination because I know that I only have 1 more day, 2 more days, 3 more days, 4 more days. Look, I know someone's going to try and talk to me like, oh, you have to work. Look, I love what I do. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, is there something that I would like spending my time doing more, like hanging out with my wife and daughter? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I enjoy my work. I enjoy what I do. I love the results that I produce. So therefore, it's not necessarily a job for me. It's kind of like a high-paying hobby. But with that being said, when I am filling myself with the weight of all that work on my shoulders, There's stress, client issues, this, that, whatever, problems that need to be resolved, fires to be put out. I understand that I've just got a little bit longer to go, that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and this high-powered supercar just has a little bit further to go to get that gas station. That's all I'm saying. Now, with that being said, too, as far as the distractions go, again, this comes back to a mindset thing. Now, the procrastination does, too, because if you're just sitting here pushing everything off, you should really take a look at what some of those common denominators are and see if you're in the wrong industry or if you're in the wrong business or if you don't, maybe you've just got to go back to the drawing board completely to figure out who it is you are. Because if you're putting stuff off, at the end of the day, that's something that you either need to outsource, you need to hire someone to do it, or you just need to scratch it from the project list completely because it's not benefiting you. So that's something else to think about when it comes to the procrastination. Now, if it's something deeper than that, and it really is the issue is with you, you've got to figure out what you hate more: the fucking current position you're in, or doing the fucking work. There's a lot of work that I don't necessarily want to do, but guess what? Instead of putting it off, fucking do it, because I'm much, much, much more interested in the future and where doing that work is going to take me than standing here and not doing it at all. And another thing to think about, and just to get this dialed into the core of the human that you are, is don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Another book that is on my desk, The Power List. This is almost like my Bible. This goes with me everywhere. Power List by Frisella. It's about 5 critical tasks. You write the 5 critical tasks down. I write mine down the day prior, or sometimes I'm actually 2 or 3 days ahead when I know I need it. So if something comes to my head, I'll get my little red pen. That's what I use, and I'll write down in the book that task. I know that I need to get that done. So for the next 2 or 3 days or the end of this week, I've already got all my critical tasks done because I knew when they came to me that they were important, and I knew that I needed to remember them, and I knew that I fucking needed to get it done with. So I write them down. You heard me say earlier in the episode that I get all my critical tasks done by 9 or 10 a.m. That's because I want to get it done without any distractions, because these are high-level decisions. These are high-level objectives. These are high-level tasks that need to be completed with my full attention. And the best way for me to get that done is before my phone starts ringing, before emails start coming in, before DMs start happening. I wake up at 4 a.m. I get a full 8 hours of day worth of work done from 4 a.m. to 9 or 10 a.m. 100%. But my critical tasks are done. Frisella, if you listen to some of his podcasts where he explains the power list, typically once you get done with that, I could be done working it every day at 9 or 10 a.m. and be 100% content with myself. Okay, maybe not 100%, but I know that I did the fucking work that's needed to be progressive. I know that I did the work to be profit producing. I know that I've done what I need to do to move the needle, to be 1% better tomorrow, to take my business where I need it to go, take my personal life where I need it to go. I keep working because there's other stuff I want to, I love what I do. So, I keep pushing forward. But if there's ever a day that I need to go do something, or I need to spend time with my wife or my daughter, and I've already done those 5 tasks, I can do so 100% guilt-free. It's probably a better way of saying it. So that's another good way of staying focused, is making sure you're writing these down. I forget the terminology, but there's actually a psychological trigger that happens in people's brains. Not everyone, or some people are at least more driven by this factor than others. But when you check something off, you're getting that dopamine and serotonin release of knowing that you're actually moving the needle. I forget what the actual scientific term for that's called, but that's a real thing. So write down the shit that you want to do, start checking it off. At the end of the year, you're going to have hundreds of these little things that you've written down and checked off, and then look back at how far you've come in a year, and I want you to see what that progress looks like. Now, use that mindset, reverse engineer it, and think about the future. If you keep this up, how much further are you going to be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year? I get so excited sometimes where I'm freaking out, putting in the work, and I'm like, shit, man, like, we still have 3 more weeks in the month left. Fuck yeah, let's go. Or, hey, we still have a majority of this quarter left. Or, hey, you know, we're on the front side of this year, whatever the case is, because I get so excited because I know how much growth me, my team, my clients are experiencing day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. And I know what that compounding effect is going to look like 6 months from now. And that gets me fucking excited. That keeps me energized about paying attention and focusing on the tasks at hand. And it keeps me from procrastinating because I do not want to rob the future potential, Zach, for putting off the fucking work today or for tomorrow that I could have fucking done today. My name is Zack ROI Williams. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Return on Investment MF channel. We'll see you soon. Peace. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video at all or got anything else out of it, please check out these videos over here. They're going to be right in line with what you just saw.